Hi, my name is Sasha, and I love books. So I'm back with looking at my old Goodreads book wrap ups. I did my 2025, did 2024, now I'm on 2023. During this year, I read 122 books. That's 18,596 pages read. The shortest book that I read was Halloween at Creepy Castle. Now, fun fact, that's not Kermit the Frog. That's Kermit the Frog's cousin. I can't think of his name right now, but the person on the cover of that book is not Kermit the Frog. Anyway, the longest book I read that year was The Three Musketeers at 626 pages. I deeply enjoyed The Three Musketeers. I'm not a type of person to like kind of action packed books. But this one quickly became like a favorite of mine. I'm actually gonna read it again this year, 2026. But I highly suggest it. I just can't put my finger on what made this book so enjoyable to me. But it was just, it felt, I guess it felt very real. Like every step of the way, it genuinely made me feel like I was just right there with them, going along with them on these journeys. And it was also funny. It was also quite funny as well. That's another thing that caught me off guard with it, was just the humor within the pages. It was also, even though this is an old book, a lot of the language was not as harsh as a lot of classics that I read. That was something I also like. Not saying that there wasn't outdated language, because there was, but it wasn't as brazen and as harsh as a lot of other classics that I have read. So I did enjoy that part about it as well. So the average book length of that year, 2023, was 152 pages. Pretty good. My most shelved book that I read was The Handmaid's Tale. And the least shelved was this book that I read to one of my students. It was a Blue's Clues book. It was adorable. She enjoyed it. And after we get done reading, she was able to like play with the little etch a sketch type thing that was on top. I will say, with Handmaid's Tale, oh, okay. To the people that unironically enjoyed this book, I'm just gonna catch heat off of this. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Well, I will say I know why people like, because a lot of people can relate to the character. When stuff was going down, she didn't do nothing. She didn't do not a single thing. She didn't go to a protest. The only thing she did was a book burning, and that's because her mama took her to the book burning. Even though her mama was supposed to be like this super, like, quote unquote woke person, but y'all going to book burnings? Like, that don't make sense. Yes, it was book burnings of X-rated content, but baby, that's no reason to do a book burning. Like, what is wrong with you? Just that if that's not the content that you want, don't get the content. Like, anyway. And then, the whole book, she like, I'm being defiant now that I don't have a choice in what happens to me. And so I'm a hold my head up a little high. Girl, shut up. Like that is genuinely how I felt throughout this entire book. Was, girl, shut the hell up. And then this might be some spoilers in the book, but whatever. When she met back with her best friend, who was now a prostitute, she went on this rant. I mean, like, y'all didn't fight hard enough. Where was you, boo? You was out there creeping with a married man and got pregnant. And then when y'all was together, he didn't try to stand up for you either. He was kind of okay on board with it. When they shut down your bank account, he was like, "Oh, well, I get to control it now." Like he was really on board with the shits, and you seem to be very. You was like, "Well, I worried about me and my baby." It's all of y'all. It's all of us. Like it ain't no me and man. Anyway, the book just pissed me off. It was so they got the character down to a T of who she was. My average rating that year was a 3.5. Again, it seems like the numbers are actually going down as I'm going down this list, but it's also like fewer books, question mark. Anyway, you gotta kind of work hard to get like a 4 or 5 star for me, even though it's also very easy to get a 4 or 5 star for me. So my highest rated book that year was Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community by Martin Luther King Jr. It's actually a really good read. A lot of people love to talk about like Martin Luther King Jr.'s teachings and his like stance and stuff like that. But it's wild to think about. A lot of people actually just don't read what his actual political views and politics was. They just go off of what somebody has told them and then don't actually read his work himself. And that's very common within a lot of different communities, a lot of different movements as well. They just go off of vibes rather than actually putting in real work. I like to read, and through my journey of reading, I've actually read stuff that a lot of people have told me about, and I've actually, you know, gotten my own experience out of actually reading the material that is out there. And I don't know, this one really got me motivated to start doing resistance reading more. Right now, it is really hard for me to like go out and do protests, stuff like that, even though I used to be very active and stuff like that. But just the way life is set up, the way my immune system is set up now. But there are other ways to still be involved and be active. You just have to find your way of doing it that is actually going to help people and not just help yourself feel like you giving yourself a pat on the back and be like, well, I did that, activism done. Like, but anyway, my first review of 2023 was Penguins Love Colors. This is such a cute book. One of my students wanted me to read that to her, and it was just like, oh, this little cute book. The last book I reviewed of 2023, girl, I'm still emotional. Brokeback Mountain. I've never watched the movie, but girl, this is my Romeo and Juliet. Like, I have read Romeo and Juliet, but this is my Romeo and Juliet. This is my tragedy. This is my love tragedy. Oh my God. This is such a this was such an emotional book. And when I tell you that this book like changed something about my life, like it changed something within me about my own queerness that was just like, oh my God. Highly recommend reading this motherfucker. Highly recommend. Anyway, that was my bookish 2023. Bye, y'all.